Hello people, it's me again, Inside Gorilla, and welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I've uploaded. But the very long delay on getting these videos out. It's a bit strenuous when you're in isolation for a bit, and you couldn't really go anywhere. Well, I couldn't really go anywhere. I couldn't go outside, do any recording, because I had to be self-isolating. So yeah, and every time I did, the wind decided it was going to pick itself up. So all my recording sessions were kind of ruined. But hey, this is going to be what if I haven't done for a little while. This is going to be an high school DxD what if iessi one still. So yes. So we're going to start off in, well, the dimensional gap. 1 minute. As I was saying, we start off in the dimensional gap. Where, well, two beings were having a fight. AKA Big Red and, well, a Chaos Dragon King. And this is going to be my own name for her, because she's female. Taphomed. A female Taphomed, if you understand. As they both clash. Taphomed, the female version, tries to kick Big Red out of the dimensional gap, saying how she's the also powerful dragon, technically queen, but they go by kings. As she fights him, Big Red sort of just staring at her attacks as they hit him, which sort of makes him say, "Really? I'm known as a god, and you're known as a king? I think a god outranks a king by a fucking huge margin, you stupid little dragon." Him sort of insulting her a bit. With Taphomed and Big Red going at it. Eventually Taphomed kinda not gives up. She ends up going for one of his eyes, just to sort of get him to take her seriously. Oh dear, how much of a bad idea that was. He ends up giving her a rather bad beatdown, and the scarring across her chest, which even if she goes into a human form, because she lives in the human world, people are going to be saying, what the hell happened to you? You got a massive wound going across your chest, going diagonally across your chest. So, who the fuck did you have a fight with, a dragon or a bear? Pardon for all the swearing, but it's kind of what people would be saying. Is that she feels her inner, her rage begin to boil. As eventually she then goes back to Big Red, trying to again kill him, but because he's got a lot of abilities, because he's known as the Dreaming Dragon, I believe, as well, if I'm not wrong. As I said, been a while since I've done this. As well, Baphomet, again, the female version, gets swatted aside. As, well, she flies through the dimensional gap, seeing its tail and biting it. With Big Red sort of like saying to himself, I swear I could feel an itch on my tail. Oh well, I'll just ignore it, it'll go away. As she rips off one of his scales, which he does notice. Now you're saying, insane. How did this female Baphomet manage to do that? Well, she did that because it was actually very old scale, and it was coming loose anyway, so all it took was a little bit of a pull from even a weak dragon like herself. I mean, weak as in god weak. Compared to a god, she is weak as all hell. So she basically gets flung off of him. And yeah, she considers the tearing off a weak, flimsy scale the sign of progress. But we also know that in High School DxD, dragons have a pride complex. So her pride is not satisfied, even though she did technically get rid of an itch for him. He still doesn't see her as a worthy opponent. Not until Altus turns up. But him and Altus in this, they're decently okay with each other. Altus will just come in every time again just to send a few insults at him, then leave. Which he does not really care about, because Altus spends more time with the devils and fallen angels than anything else. In a human form as well. So they relatively leave each other alone. Even though he does kind of have a little shtick for Altus. Or, yeah, I think that's her name, Altus. The Infinity Dragon. Yeah, he kind of has a little shtick for her. If he figured out how to turn into a fucking human, he'll most probably go and live with her. Because he finds her absolutely fucking adorable. Well, the female Baphomet still goes for him. Eventually he swats her so hard she falls out, well, goes unconscious, and he opens a rift, sending her back to the human world in a human form. He knows damn well he can't let the humans see the dragons. But luckily he managed to send her into her own bedroom. And by the way, in this, Baphomet's actually a, college student on her last year in the human world. So she will soon be going to find a job. And because she's a chaos dragon, she's going to go for the most chaotic thing ever. The military. More along the lines of the British military. What? You thought this was going to take place in Japan? No. It's going to take place here in good old jolly old shitty British weather. England. Because the British weather is a piece of shit. Because it's bloody raining where I am. You can't hear it because it's light rain at the minute. So hey, with Baphomet crashing into her bed of sorts, and she does have a roommate, not a female, who's who's the holder of the Red Dragon Emperor, aka Dreg. Her and Baphomet do have a good old buddy relationship, even though the holder of Dreg is a lesbian. And, well, Baphomet is not a lesbian. Because, well, animal instinct says that she needs to claim Red as her own. But little does she know that she already got left with a very significant gift from Red, even though it's unintentional. I think you all can gather who I'm talking about. Oh, and if you're wondering where she is in the UK, she's in Birmingham. Or, no, not Birmingham. Screw it, she's in London. Roughly, she lives... Well, if you live in London, no matter where you live, I know you all know the King Cross station in London. She lives 20 minutes from there. So, yeah. So, she goes to her room. Well, her friend walks into her room after hearing her crash, as she sees her lying on the bed, covered in cuts and scratches and slash marks, bruises, as she sees the diagonal cut going from her chest to sort of, well, not too far down, but just enough so you can see where the cut was on her body. It doesn't go too far down her body either, it just diagonally across the chest. So, yeah. As she runs to her saying, calling her by her real name, Baphomet. Not the not the name she calls herself. As she looks at Baphomet, Baphomet herself groans in pain. As Dreg summons himself, saying, even I forget how much you love to fight, even when I was alive. And she would look to Dreg, and she would just say, "Shut up, Dreg. I still hate you because you didn't give me that promise." As Dreg would say, I know. Can't help it if I... As Baphomet would just say, "You're both foolish. You and that white dragon of yours. Ever thought you two should just make up and drop the whole rivalry thing? Hey. Dragon's pride. Yeah, but look at the other one. Our race is almost extinct thanks to you and him. Almost, Baphomet. Go to him." What, I live with all the other dragons? I'm a chaos dragon. Hey, the younglings will love to hear your stories. You've been around long enough for them to consider you, well, a reasonably good adult. Dreg, what? I am literally 18. I haven't been around that long. Gone to the younglings you have been. They will hear the legendary Baphomet, the Dragon King, even though they should be calling you a Dragon Queen, considering how, well, strong you are. Not stronger than Big Red, apparently. What? Yep. What? Yep. What? No, I mean, what? What did you do? Oh, you know. Went and fought Big Red in the dimensional gap. What? Tafamid, you know Big Red lives there for peace and quiet. He doesn't go there just to have, good old funsies with a fight. Yeah, I know. Well, I'm starting to heal anyway, so... But still, that hurt. Yeah, we're going to deal with Big Red with her. Because he is known as, I don't know, the strongest god dragon around. Yeah, I know. God, my chest hurts. Yeah, well, you got a massive scar now going down it. Stupid woman. Drake, do you really want me to start punching that arm off? So you cannot ever be with your new host? Someone definitely woke up on the bad side of the bed this morning. Yeah, dealing with you. Guys, guy and girl, would you just please start kissing and making up for it? That means I would have to start kissing you. Yeah, but I know that's actually just you kissing him. Just so you two could make up and stop arguing. You promised, you do know of the reason why I hate him so much, right? I know. But why didn't you kill me when you first heard his voice? Well, we have been living together for a while. I virtually see you like a sister. Thanks. Goes to show how much you care. Ha ha ha. Very funny. Of course I care about you, dumb oaf. Hey, if you ever decide to get married to Big Red, can I come? Big Red's more concerned with his pride than, getting married, getting down with a girl, and having hatchlings. I sure as hell wouldn't mind actually having hatchlings myself, but... Big Red, I do not see him doing that anytime soon. Like, seriously, I do not see him doing that anytime soon. Well, yeah, but there's also one other thing. As Drake would speak up, saying, yeah, I noticed it too. I'm surprised Taffamet hasn't realized she's still holding on to it. Holding on to what? Look down, you'll see one of the scales of him. Oh, must have grabbed hold of it with my claw still. Oh well, whoops. You could devour that. Drake? What? I ain't devouring his tail scale. All of our scales still have a bit of DNA. If you devour it, you could have a bit of his DNA to make you even more powerful. Perhaps you could even, I don't know, get up to his size and height. You'll most probably still kill him. Or better yet, just kick his ass, because I think he needs it. Asshole. Who are you calling an asshole? Me or him? Both. Asshole. But seriously. Eat it. You most probably get a bit of his DNA so you can, as I said, get more stronger. Do you know how gross that sounds? What if it has negative side effects? What if it makes me, implode? Well, nice knowing you. What? Fuck off, Red. Or should I say, fuck off, Drake? For a drag, you out of your host and then devour you. Oh, you'll just enjoy that. Damn right I will. Because you deserve it. Again, because you promised me eggs when we were little. I still held you to that promise. And then you go, being a dragon, having your stupid pride, and you decide to go into a three-way war, causing it to be a four-way war. Where all the races ganged up on you and wiped, and thoroughly kicked both of your asses. Dickweed. That's a new insult. I will admit, yes, our pride did cause me to, abandon you. And I'm sorry for that. No, you're not. Actually, I am. But anyway. Just just think about it. Devour it if you want. It's better than having it around, because I don't think you want uninvited guests coming in to finding a massive dragon scale. Yeah, that'll be a bit annoying. Anyway, come on, partner. Let's go. Got school in a few hours. We'll just have to tell the teacher that, well, she ain't coming to school. Because she has fallen very badly ill. We'll just have to make that up. Right. Well, see you, Tafamid. Yeah. See ya. Holder of Red. Well, Holder of Drag. Could you use my real name? Nope. To me, you'll always be the Holder of Red. Or of Drag. Even if I do use your real name. Don't actually have a good picture to show you what Tafamid actually looks like. Oh well. Let's just say Tafamid's a bit like Rias with red hair. She's just not as bouncy, let's say that. Like here, your chest isn't as big as Rias. It's nowhere near. And she would just lie down and, well, sleep. A few days would pass with Drake constantly talking to her to see how she's doing. Eventually, Drake and her link subconsciously. As Tafamid's going through the battle with Big Red. As Drake would just say, you still have that scale. As Drake materializes himself in her dream. As she's there too. 1 minute. This is what Tafamid looks like. And she would just say, yeah, well, I try, Drake. I'm literally going through this all the time. And I know I've still got the dragon scale. But I don't feel comfortable in eating it. Just eat it. You'll have his power. Then you'll be able to kick his ass. I know you want to make him yours. Do what every dragon female does. Get stronger. So strong that it actually causes the male to actually take notice this time. I know, but I don't feel... Well, don't worry. It'll be fine. What could possibly go wrong? Get pregnant from it? You could, there's a point. Some things could go wrong. Hey, like me getting pregnant. Hey, I'm joking. What's the possibility of that would be happening? 1 in a million? Alright. She exits her mindscape. Okay, I'm going to have to use Akano here. And she has the dragon scale in her hand. And she would just say, this is going to be weird, eating one of his scales. Partial dragon transformation. As her body slowly grows to the size where she can actually eat the whole dragon scale without breaking anything. And she proceeds to, well, eat it. As she would lie back down, saying, ugh, that's horrible. With Drake again talking to her saying, yeah, but at least you'll be able to most probably have a bit of a power boost. As she would go to sleep. Again, to talk to Drake. As Drake and her continue talking, she then goes back to school. As she meets up with Drake's holder again, saying, right, tell no one. Remember? I know, you don't have to tell me. And don't worry, Drake's secret and your secret is safe with me. Thanks. Don't mention it. Well, when I finish college, I'm going to Japan. Why go to Japan? Well, I want to, see things over there. I want to also learn Japanese food. You just want to go over there because it's nice and quiet. Well, there's a lot of people. Ha ha ha. Well, it's not like you could do anything different. You're almost probably going to stay here in England and not even move. No, I'm going to America. America? Yep. To me, America will be the best place for me to go. Because I've always wanted to see it. And plus I've got a few family members over there. Who are semi-religious. Well, my mother's brother, aka my uncle and his wife, he's he's religious. His wife is not religious. For all intents and purposes, she hates him because he always has to drag her to church when she doesn't want to go to church because she needs to go to work. Oh. Yep. Oh, indeed. Anyway, we're at school, so see you later. Taffermid. Yeah, see you later. Use my real name, not that one. I always do. As well. A year passes as Taffermid finally leaves college at the age of 19. As she sleeps again. As well. During the night she feels off. Sort of. With her sort of clenching her stomach. As she would say, ugh, what the hell? Oh, why do I feel so sick? It could be nothing. I'm just going to try and get some sleep. As a few minutes later, she would get up and run, slamming open the door, and slamming open the bathroom door, and then, well, let's say this, all you could hear was a is, well, Drake's holder would rush to her saying, well, as he would appear, saying, "Tafamit, what's wrong?" As all they would hear is a as he would just say, "Sorry, just not feeling well." As Drake would just sigh, saying, "Partner, put me on my forehead." "Sure." "Definitely, move your hair back." "There." "Yeah. You go, Drake." "Thanks, partner." "Just don't throw up on me, would you?" "Don't tempt me." "Let's see here." Okay. I think I found out the reason why. Take me off the head now, partner." "Sure. Thanks." As well, Tafamid would still throw up, as she would weakly say to him what he saw, or ask him what he saw, with Drake just responding he has no idea. He actually needs to process what he actually saw, because her mind is all a bit of a confuddle. There's signs of happiness, sadness, dread, fear, a lot of things that are going through her mind. His instincts tell him that it's most probably good news or bad. He has no idea. He needs to dwell on it and try and sort out what he saw. This tough man would again throw up. After 4 hours of her bringing up her guts, they eventually get her back to bed and put a bowl, a pretty big one, because if she starts throwing up again, she has it near her. But they just had to be sure. So Drake and her, well, and his partner of sorts, considering he's attached to the soul, quickly darts out of their, well, quote-unquote room or apartment as she rushes, well, Drake and his partner kind of rushes all the way to the, well, stores or shopping area, as she would pick up a pregnancy tester, as she would run, after paying, obviously, run all the way back to her apartment to find Tafamid again in the bathroom, bringing up her guts. To an extent to where, well, she just doesn't leave the bathroom. But after a while, after she had once again thrown up, Tafamid looks to Drake's holder as she would bring out a pregnancy tester, and she would tell her on how to use it. Tafamid would just grin, saying, I know how to read. Just give it here." If she would obviously use the pregnancy tester, is she would put it upside down on the floor. It's going to be one of those newest ones, what they say that people can use. The reason why I know that is because of Liz Katz, if you've ever watched H2O Delirious, with her little bombshell again. If you haven't already watched Liz Katz's video of her and H2O Delirious, I assume you guys are Delirious fans, if you ever watched his channel. If not, type in H2O Delirious and watch it. He is pretty funny. Well, sort of. Some of his jokes can get a bit over the top. Anyway, as she would wait and wait and wait and throw up. Again, back in the toilet. With a beeping sound as Dreg's holder would pick it up, turn it around. As Tuffman would look at her as, well, she sees Dreg's holder's eyes go wide and sort of start glistening with tears, but not of sadness, of happiness. As Tuffman would sigh, saying, "What?" As she would turn it around, saying, "Congratulations, you're pregnant." As Dreg would pop into existence again, saying, "Well, shit. It appears you're that 1% who would get pregnant from this, from eating Big Red's dragon scale. Well, shit. If you want to head to Japan, you better go before you give birth." As she would just say, "Yeah, I know." Well, she would again begin throwing up. As Dreg would speak to his wielder, okay? And he would just say, "This is normal for female dragons. But when they're actually in their dragon form, it's not as bad. They'll only throw up once a month. Once every 2 weeks. But because she's in a human form, she throws up virtually every few minutes. Because obviously she's a dragon in human form, her stomach had to convulge a lot smaller than it should be to compensate. And unfortunately, it appears that it's one of those effects of being smaller than a dragon form. As, months pass. As Tough Med leaves to go to Japan with a noticeable little bulge on her stomach. As some of the boys that she used to go to college with notice her, as some of them say, "Damn, who's the lucky fella?" As one of the other lads would just say, "Oh, there goes my chance. She's already got down and is already having someone's child." It's tougher mid, obviously going by her alias name, would just say, "Calm down." They had one of those birth controls jabbed into my arm. They said it could be a possibility that I could end up becoming pregnant out of it, purely by accident, without a father, or without a man putting it in me. As the boys would laugh, saying, "Yeah, I guess that's true. But anyway, congratulations." Some of us never thought you would become a mother this early, though. As she would laugh, saying, "Yeah, calm down. Don't get your hopes up." It was one of the lads that she was speaking to would laugh, saying, "Anyway, good luck, yada yada yada." And she would just say, "Yeah, good luck to you, yada yada yada" as well. As she would leave, going to Japan. As she would find a place to stay before she left. Greg's holder coming to get her to the airport. Just as say a final goodbye. As they would both hug, Greg's holder would put her right hand on her stomach, or Tough Med's stomach, saying, "You can feel the heartbeat in there. The heartbeat is strong. You're going to have one healthy child." As Tough Med would smile, saying, "Yeah." As she'd whisper into her ear, saying, "Although dragons usually lay eggs, so I don't know how the hell this is going to work when the people see an egg drop out of me instead of a baby that cries." As she would laugh, saying, "Calm down, Tuffy." Tuffy? Is that my new nickname? As they would both laugh, and she would just say, "Tuffy, go. He'll be a good mother." As Tough Med would just scowl at herself, saying, "Being a Chaos Dragon doesn't mean I have the qualifications to make myself a good mother." As she would get on the plane after a few minutes of saying goodbye, as they would leave. Well, she would. Going on the plane, leaving to Japan. Hours later, she lands and gets a taxi. And, Drake's holder actually sent her a lot of money and translated it into Japanese money so she could buy herself a house. Tafmed also starts looking for a job so she could start paying for essentials and that. I'm going to have to go back to this quickly. As she eventually does find a good enough place, as she would say, right, people will call me Ishigawa, so, because that's what I called myself in England, so it kind of sounds Japanese. So yeah, okay, let's get going. And she would buy the property and, meet another woman who is also pregnant, as it turns out to be one of Issei's friends, quote-unquote mother. And yeah, those two don't really like each other that much. They get on, but you wouldn't really call them friends. More like along the lines of okay associates. As well, a year goes, 9 more months go by. It's eventually Tufflemed gives birth to a healthy baby boy, as she calls him, Issei Hadegawa. As well, she is glad that he is healthy, as the doctors give him to her. As well, Issei is actually rather quiet. He is breathing, he's just not crying. Because usually when babies are born, they start crying. Issei is not. He is just quiet. Like I said, he is breathing, so he's not dead. But he is just peaceful. As the doctors are not technically weirded out by this, they have seen a few children that do not cry at all. So just think that they're emotionless, so they don't really feel emotion. So it's okay for them, they just think he's also emotionless. Tafamed knows differently. He is not emotionless, he's just calm, at peace with himself. Considering she knows who his father is, even though his father does not know he's a father. I think Big Red sort of sneezes out of that one. And speaking of Big Red, him in the office, well, let's say this, I was surprised the entire underworld and dimensional gap held strong. Those two ended up going at it. And not in the argument way, more like in the way of Office becoming his mate. And some people could most probably swear that they could hear her laughing and moaning, saying how good it feels. So take that into context, as you will. Well, obviously he sneezes away from her, obviously, being respectful. His Office would look at him saying, "What's wrong?" As he would just say, "Don't know." Well, he would continue with her. As eventually she would technically be filled to the brim with him. As she and him would leave the dimensional gap, finding a secluded place somewhere else. Obviously going very low down in size, not to scare people. As Office lays some eggs. As well, she sort of turns into a bit of a mother hen. And she is aggressive. If it's not Big Red, then she doesn't want anybody near her. If they're with Big Red and they're just talking to him, she's fine if it's another male. But if it's female, oh god. The female may want to start running. Anyway. With Tafamed sort of, well, raising Issei all on her lonesome. You know that? Okay. I couldn't really find anything good enough for this, so here. As, well, Tafamed raises little Issei. Oh, I forgot something. Fuck. Hang on. As I was saying, Tafamed, again, sorry about that. Tafamed raising Issei as we go to when he is around about 4. She knows how to put illusions and spells up, like barriers and that, so people can not really hear things or see things, such as the time where Issei almost walked out of his house with his mum to go to the park and his wings and tail popped out. As she casts an illusion so people don't see them, it just makes it look like she is talking to him, when as a matter of fact she's telling him to quickly hide his wings and tail. Issei quickly doing such things, because dragon, he knows that wings, humans, bad. Well, if humans see a child with wings and a tail that looks like a dragon, that's bad. Kid that looks all innocent and happy, no wings, no tail, good. Still being a kid, he wants to go out and play with other kids his age, but he knows about his, well, kind of a dragon heritage, considering he is, well, his mother says that he is a chaos dragon, of a chaos dragon king, as she points to herself when she told him, saying, I am a dragon king. As Issei would obviously be young, so his word of speech is not good, as he would say, dragon sing, as he would try to say dragon king, obviously it being very slurred. Obviously, he just wants to go around and play with people. So yeah, skipping 2 more years to age 6, as he, well, goes out by himself without his mother knowing, but obviously knowing a bit more about how to hide his dragon tail and wings. He has also started to grow a few horns on his head. He's also known how to pretty much hide it, thanks to his mother. So he just thinks about everything being hidden as it all hides. As he goes to the park, him knowing that he is a dragon, he has a lot more stamina than others, but he also knows that it's also good to interact with others too. As he walks around the park, as well, he would see the swings as he would walk to them, as he would just casually mind his own business, as he would sit on the swings and start, swinging on them, basically. As he would just do that, a lot of people would give him stares, like, ugh, who is he? Freak. Loner. As you say, would, still being 6 years old, hear this, and because he's a dragon, he's got a bit of a broader array of hearing things, as he would hear them calling him a freak, as he would just not really care. He knows that his horns, wings and tail aren't out, so it must be something that he has no control over. Which he would be correct. People can feel an aura coming off of him, like saying, come near me and I will kill you, kind of aura. Which does causes a lot of people to stick away from him, So he doesn't really interact with that many people. The few that do interact with him start getting very nervous, and when they leave, they collapse out of pure fright. It does take him a few months to get a few friends, one being a girl, another one being a boy, but those are the only two friends he's had, and then they had to leave because the parents were actually moving away, going to different countries because of their jobs. And because they were both single parents, they both couldn't really leave their children in Japan. So they took their children with them. And the both of them forgot about Issei. So Issei continues doing Issei things, just minding his own goddamn business. This goes on for another year or so. No, 6 more months. As he, sees a young redhead. And if you don't know who I mean, it's Rias, Grimmery. With her, brother and her father. With Rias actually going on the swings, with her brother keeping watch, and obviously Sir Lucifer is very, very overprotective of his sister, like he is in the light manga and the anime as well. Ow. As he says, walks up to the swings as, Rias' brother sort of gives him the stink eye, saying, what do you want? As he say, would go on swing somewhere else. Not too far, like literally one swing across, as he would start swinging himself. As he could feel their aura. And because of the 6 months, he has tried to keep his own aura down. Due to him sort of saying to his mum, people keep on avoiding him for some reason. They keep on calling him a freak and a monster. As Tafamid sort of realises that it's his aura, that's why people call him a monster and a freak. As so, the 6 months, him obviously having to go to school as well, he knows a little on how to hide his aura. It's not the best, but it's something. It's better than nothing. He still trains on how to hide his aura, even when he's in public. He trains himself to hide it. Because he has to, because he doesn't want people to constantly give him the freak and monster stare. As, Rias' brother and father still pick up on his aura. Because obviously they're both high-class devils. What do you think, they're going to be stupid? Not realise that he's a dragon? No, they're going to notice that the boy is not human at all, and he's obviously training himself to hide his aura. Obviously, Sir Zex is, on edge, because he can damn well tell this boy ain't human. He can't place his finger on what. There's their father, Rias' father as well, by the way. Look at the boy saying to himself, okay, right, yes, the boy is definitely not 100% human. It's almost as if he is a... well, it's possible he could be a high-class angel or a high-class fallen angel. But his aura gives off a predatorial aura. Almost as if he is not in any of the categories. I'll brush this aside, considering he doesn't have the malicious intent to harm my family. But little does he know that iessi is trying hard not to start sweating bullets, because he can tell their power level and they are twice as high as he is in the power level department. All apart from the girl. The girl is so low in power, it's untrue. It's almost like he knows she's a high-class devil and she's trying to hide it, but he does not know that they are devils. He just thinks that they're people with similar aura to him. But by the way, that one of the redheads is giving him the death glare. He does not want to be sitting that close to them. He'll be sitting where he is now, but even he's still thinking he should move an extra few miles away. Obviously, this is when Tafamid turns up. And she does hide her aura, but as soon as she sees the high-class devils, oh shit, she unleashes it. And they can really feel the a Dragon King nearby. As they all, well, Sir Zex, his father, and Rias Grimmery all look to Tafamid, or in Tafamid's direction, as she keeps a calm and pleasant face as she shouts for Rias. As he hears her, as he gets up and runs, with Rias being sort of sidetracked by him, seeing how fast he is. With Sir Zex and his father, along obviously it's Rias' father as well, kind of starts sweating, saying, "Oh fuck, it's a Dragon King. And a female Dragon King, which is far more dangerous than even we've imagined. Oh boy." Little did they realise that little Rias disappeared. She actually followed, well, Tafamid and iessi, followed them all the way home like a little stalker. Obviously, with her power level being so low, iessi didn't really pick up on it, but Tafamid sure as hell did. As Tafamid stops, as she slowly turns around. Really, sorry about that, guys. I'm yawning in the middle of my recording session again. As Tafamid turns her head slowly, slowly, like as if she's just slowly looking at her son, as she slowly turns her body afterwards. With Rias quickly diving, well, behind a hedge. As Tafamid would still sense her, but not see her, and not really willing to show her dragon eyes off for extra sight, so she could see things in the infrared to pick up on body heat and that. And nor does she really open up her, well, she does open up her hearing a lot to like hear the birds, hear the water running underneath their feet, and also hear the static breathing of a young girl. But also kind of opens up a mind to start reading people's minds as well. as she hears, "Oh God, oh God, oh God. Ow, ow, ow." But still, I just hope she didn't see me. She didn't see me. She didn't see me. She didn't see me. Come on, Rias. Just wait for a bit. As Taffamed would smirk, saying, well, saying in a mind, saying, "So, Rias. Rias. Sounds like the Grimmery family, Rias. So we have a devil heiress on our hands." As, well, she is holding Issei's hand, so he sort of pulls her, saying, "Mom, can we go home? You're kind of scaring me." As she would just look down, saying, "Apologies to you. Apologies, young Issei. My young Issei. Tell you what, let's go and get you some food, hey? You must be hungry after playing games all day." As Issei would look to the side, saying, "No, not really. I just stuck to myself." As she would just sigh, saying, "Still trying to find friends." "Well, come on then." And she would just hold on to him after picking him up, obviously. As, well, Issei would hug her as he would kind of doze off to sleep. And she would laugh to herself in her mind, saying, "Who knew I would be such a brilliant mother?" Well, I guess this is what motherhood really feels like. Raising a child, teaching them, even if we aren't exactly human. But anyway, I just hope I can spare my son the anger of others. If I can't do that, then what kind of mother will I be? As she walks into her home with Rias, still sneaking, following them. Obviously, every now and again having to dive behind cover, just so she didn't get spotted, which does kind of get on Taffamed's nerves, but she knows that it's someone who is just curious. She ain't bloodthirsty. As she goes home, walks in with Issei, makes some food up for him, as he is still asleep. So she went to put him on the couch. As he then eventually wakes up, as she says, Issei, good. Dinner's ready." Or should I say, tea's ready. As he would walk up to her and sit at the table, as she would just clap her hands, as he would do the same, as he would just say thank you for the food, as they would both eat. With Taffamed actually keeping an eye on a window in the dining room outside, as she sees a little bit of tufty red peering over the little wall. As she would stand saying, "Hey, you say I just quickly go and do something, so you might just wait here for a bit and finishing your food?" As Issei would just, nod up and down, saying, "Yeah, Mom, I'll do it." As she would smile at him, saying, "Thank you, hon." As she would walk out, as Rias would start slowly popping her eyes over the wall, not really noticing that the door opened, as she would be firmly fixed on Issei. That's until she hears someone next to her ear saying, "So, you think spying on my son is a good thing?" As Rias sort of, slightly squeaks, as she sort of jumps out of her skin, as she sees Tuffamed sort of leaning over her. And Tuffamed in her eyes is, well, virtually this. Tuffamed could put all the role models in the world to shame. Her figure is, well, not too skinny, not too not skinny, tall but not a giant. Her weapons of seductiveness are, to Rias, god tier. And her curvature looks like it's enough to cut diamonds. Or so she thinks. Little does she know that underneath the dress that Tuffamed is actually wearing, and yes, Tuffamed is wearing a dress, is actually a few dragon scales turning up. Because she's getting ready to blast Rias into the underworld. As Tuffamed is actually waiting for Rias's excuse, as Rias is just saying, I'm just curious. That's all. Tuffamed not really picking up any lies. She is actually curious about her son, most probably about that sudden burst of goddamn speed, making him look like a speed freak. As Rias would look at, well, iessi, as he's finished eating and putting his food away. Well, his bowl and that in a, well, washing machine, or dishwasher, sorry, as Rias would see his, well, face. His small, well, little bit of pink on her cheek. As Tuffamed would look at her son, as then look at Rias, and she would then, her inner dragon is sort of moving her eyebrows up and down like a madman, saying, "Oh, hello. Apparently, little iessi has a little admirer. Although he is a bit beautiful. He is a beautiful young boy. I don't think he should really be exposed to love. Considering our dragon height, or our dragon senses, sort of scream at us saying, claim and claim immediately when it comes to the opposite gender." As she would kneel down to Rias, as she would say in a draconic voice, loud enough for her to hear, but nobody else, and she would say, "Aren't you a bit young to think of love like that?" As Rias would start backing off very quickly, as her voice goes back to normal, saying, "No, go back to your brother and your father, by the looks of them. They aren't happy." As she would walk past Rias, as Rias would look at iessi, who's, well, tried to look at him as he's no longer there, and she would turn around to see her brother and her father, both with a few tick marks above their heads, well, on their heads. As she quickly puts her head down and walks towards them, as Tuffamed would push her slightly towards them, saying, "Go. I have a word for you." As she would point to the man with the beard, or a slight goatee, with red hair, as he would walk up to her, as he would say, "Hello, I am," as she would say, "I know who you are, Grimmery. The current head of the Grimmery family, I know." as, well, Rias, Sir Zex, and their father both stammer in horror. As she would just say, I know you are the head of the Grimmery family, I know that your son is the next heir to the Grimmery family, and I know Rias will take over from him. Yes, I do know your names, because I am a mind reader. You are Sir Zex, you are Rias Grimmery, you just prefer to be going by the name of Lucifer. So yes, I do know exactly who you three are. And if I catch her eyeing my son like he's candy in a store, she will be having a worst dream ever. Me putting her on the, well, verge of death, because I do not like it when people stare at my son. As, well, Sir Zex, well, yeah, Sir Zex would make a ball of destruction, as he would say, you dare threaten my sister? With his father putting his hand on it, saying, don't do it. You do not want to piss her off. I can feel her aura, son, and I can tell you, she is like the great Red himself, but not a god, a king. With Sir Zex sort of shaking in fear after hearing Big Red, as he would say, impossible. What is a dragon like you doing here? With Rias sort of taking a very good interest, as her father picks her up and basically holds on to her. As Tafelmid would just say, I assume you know who I actually am, Lucifer. As Lucifer would nod, saying, Tafelmid, the Chaos Dragon. The strongest female dragon, other than Office, or Ophis. And she would nod, saying, Office the Infinity Dragon. I'll admit, I am not trying to work my way up to her level. I prefer to stay as a Dragon King, and not a god. With Rias saying, why Dragon King? Why couldn't you just be Dragon Queen, considering you're a girl? With Sir Zex covering her mouth, saying, you do not want to say that to a female dragon, especially if they're young and nearby, because she could take that as a threat. Yes, well, Tafelmed would sort of scowl, saying, do you think I make the rules? It's a title given by all dragons to the strongest. And considering I'm a Chaos Dragon, you can damn well imagine what my infinities are. So your little Destructo balls will not do much, because it's Chaos. So imagine my surprise when I feel demonic entities, and it turns out to be the head and the two heiresses of the Grimmery family. Obviously she's saying this in a low tone, not to attract iessi or anybody else, but her voice does go a little bit demonic, well, a little bit draconic as she starts speaking, as they can clearly see a few lines on her face start to reveal themselves. As, well, just ignore them. And she goes into a partial dragon transformation, obviously keeping up an illusion around her, so only beings who are like devils, angels, fallen angels, other dragons, can see her. as they see 6 horns and, well, 4 sharp claws start to appear on her. With her, well, face becoming all scaled, well, partially scaled. As all 3 of them start backing off a bit, as, well, Zerzek's and Rias' father just says, "We aren't here to hurt you. We're only here to pick up Rias." After she disappeared. We tracked her signature, and unfortunately it led to your home. We apologise. This will not happen again. Not on my watch. If she turns up in the park and I ain't there, you can assume she's there without my permission. And it's most probably her own doing anyway. So please, mighty Tuffamed, forgive us. As Tuffamed would look behind her after sensing her son, as she transforms herself, and she would just say, "I will let this slide. Just this once." Yes, they would all back off and, well, leave, with Rias keeping an eye over her father's shoulder, looking at, well, Tuffamed. And she shouts, "Keep this a secret, you 3. As all of them would just say, "Yes, ma'am." As, well, Issei would walk out as Rias would go very pink yet again. Or have pinkish cheeks. As Tuffamed would pick up on it again, as she would scoff. As Issei would just say, "Mom, wait, who are you yelling at?" As he would see the 3 redheads. As he would see the girl who was staring at him with pinkness on her cheeks. As he would just roll his eyes as he'll just walk back inside, with his mother not really paying attention to what she was saying. Eventually, well, not really going to say eventually, because this is actually where I'm ending it, guys. If you like, comment, and subscribe, hope to see you all in the next one. And just to let you know, I am doing the Templar one. What if Belle was a Templar? What if Belle was a Warden? I'm going to be going back to the Aster one soon. So, yeah. But I also may be doing a redo of part 2 of what if, well, Belle was the Witch King, because I didn't really like the way I ended that one. So, see you all next time. Peace.